What up, everybody? It's your boy Asian. We're back here again. We're ready to talk about some more Michigan football. Yeah, some more Michigan football. The season is almost here for Michigan. But the starting today is Monday, August 18th. After recording this, and that means college football is here this week 0. Yes, it gets started in Ireland with Iowa State and Kansas State. But Michigan gets to kick off next week, 30th, Saturday against New Mexico. But with that being said, we're going to talk about some news and notes real quick before I give you guys my deep dive and a schedule prediction of what I think Michigan's record will be going into this season. So let's get right to a couple news and notes. I forgot to get to it last week. I didn't get a chance. I know with the NCAA stuff, investigation, and all that stuff going on. But with that just real quick, Michigan has appealed it. I'm not surprised. I talked about it in my last video what happened. So enough said. Don't want to keep talking about it. I want to put it behind, but they're going to appeal, and we'll see what happens. I know Connor Stallion's lawyer has some things to say. Jim Harbaugh, when asked about it, was mom didn't say anything about it. So, hey, just ready for, like I said, ready for this whole thing to be over with. We'll see what happens from there. But they got the punishment. We'll see if the appeal goes through or not, and that'll be it. So, that being said, Michigan, AP poll came out last week. Didn't get a chance to get to it, but Michigan came in ranked at 14th. Yes, that's about where I thought they would be. They was a little higher than I thought they would initially be coming to the season, just because they have so many question marks offensively, and I know the defense will be elite, and we think that's the strength of the ball heading into this season with Wink Martindale and company, with all the good players they got on defense, and expected to be and probably one of the best defensive lines in the country. But they're the 5th ranked. They're one of 6 ranked Big Ten teams in the top 25. You have Penn State at 2, Ohio State at 3, Oregon at 7, Illinois at 12, Michigan at 14, Indiana at 20. So that's 16. That's 6 teams from the Big Ten ranked in the top 25. Pretty good, I think. That top half of the Big Ten, I think, is solid. It's that middle part and the bottom part going to get into the season where it's a little sketchy, a little shaky. So we'll see what happens, but it's right about in the middle. I think they got a good landing spot, so we'll see how the season goes. And real devastating news coming out of the day. 5-star tackle freshman Andrew Babalola, Michigan's one of their highest rated recruits behind Bryce Underwood. Fortunately, there's rumors that he suffered a serious knee injury. Don't know the extent to it yet. Hopefully, it's not serious, but it's been reported that this could be a potential season-ending knee injury, which sucks for Andrew Babalola, man, because he had potential coming into camp. They were talking about how he's pushing Evan Link, the junior, who started the back half of last year, pushing him for some playing time. If he wasn't going to start, he was definitely going to get snaps. And for a true freshman to do that at the offensive tackle position just tells you how talented he is. Remember, he hasn't been playing football his whole life like a lot of guys. He started playing football later in his life. But the potential there is, the talent's there, and it just sucks if this is a season-ending injury because he's going to have to redshirt. And I did want to see him play and get some reps and really gel with Bryce Underwood in this class, and was going to be great. And if it is season injury, he's going to redshirt. He's going to get healthier. Knee injuries are tough, but I have faith in him. And he was definitely going to play, and that's tough for a true freshman. There's been a lot of guys who have played well as freshmen at the tackle spot, and that's a hard position to get to. Caden Proctor struggled a little bit, but look who he's become. Laramie Tunsil, former Ole Miss offensive lineman. It was good. Andrew Thomas, he plays with the New York Giants now, formerly of Georgia. But if you can reach that upper echelon, then that's good. But if it is, it sucks, like I said. But Michigan had a little bit of depth at the offensive line, and this was a question mark going into the season, and still is a question mark of how good this offensive line could be. Can Evan Link be good? We're going to see, but it looks like he was holding them off, and he looks like going to be the presumed starter. Blake Frazier moves up in the pecking order right now. He struggled with some injuries as well, but like I said, I'll get back to you guys on it when I hear the official news, but that is the speculation, and I'm hoping that's not the case, but regardless, he does have some type of injury, so we'll see. But it's a big blow to this offensive line and to this season, because I really want to see him get out there and make some plays and really shape his future. But hey, it's a step back, but doesn't mean he's going to come back and be better. So that's what I got to say about that. All right, now let's get into it. Michigan's schedule. I'm going to give you guys the breakdown of each game and what I think if they're going to win or lose, and I'll give you my win-loss at the end of the season. Now, going into this season, schedule's not crazy. I don't think it's as tough. There's a couple games in the stretch where I think it's manageable. Michigan doesn't have back-to-back home games this year, and that's okay. They got to go out west once to USC, but I think the schedule is manageable. But this is a team who's young offensively and needs to prove something. And throwing Bryce Underwood, which I presume is going to be the starter, like I talked about before, It'll be tough. So you got to let him go through his growing pains and figure it out. And it's really hard. A lot of true freshmen don't come in and be elite immediately. But we'll see what happens. Now, let's start with week 1, August 30th, 7:30 Eastern on NBC and Peacock. Michigan home opener against New Mexico. Now, New Mexico lost their coach, their players. Not good team. Michigan wins this game, I think, easily. This is a chance for Bryce and company of the offense to get their feet wet and get adjusted with Jordan Marshall, Justin Haynes, throw some McCulley, see what we got, Samaj. I think this is just the win. This is a nice opener for the offense and get their feet wet and get started. So I think they win that game. Week 2, September 6th, 7:30. Big primetime game on ABC at Oklahoma. This will be the first time in history that Michigan and Oklahoma play each other true in a true college stadium. So this is gonna be a big game playing the SEC team. Oklahoma's ranked 18th in the AP poll. They could be ranked differently, but right now they say 18th. This is a make or break game for Brentman. It was the pressure's on Oklahoma to win this game over Michigan, but I think you're asking a lot for Michigan to go into Oklahoma. Their defense is elite. They'll have a good defense. Now, the question mark has been the offense, but they got John Mateer, the top-rated transfer quarterback, and Jaden Ott, one of the best running backs in the country, via he stays healthy. But their defense is just as good. And I think it's a lot asked for Bryson Company to go in there and win this game. I think Michigan loses. I think it's a closer game than what people think, but I do think they lose this game. It's just tough to ask. So I don't expect them to win this game. Now, if they do, of course, I'll be ecstatic. Let's go to week 3, September 13th. A noon game versus Central Michigan. Central Michigan. They're not good. Michigan usually dominates them. And let's not forget, this is the first game of 2 this season that Sharon Moore will be on suspension. But I think Michigan has no problem winning this game against Central Michigan out of the MAC. Week 4, another big game. I think very, very important. This game is September 20th, 3:30 kick in Lincoln on CBS. It's at Nebraska. Yes. Nebraska has a lot of high hopes this year. A lot of people have some faith in them. Can they finally pull it together and be good? Michigan's natty year. They went to Nebraska and almost lost. It's a tough place to play. It's a tough place to play. Fortunately, I'm going to say Michigan probably loses this game. Dylan Riley is a sophomore. He's supposed to lead Nebraska. I think they'll be much better, but I think Michigan loses this game. Tough spot, I know, but I just think it's a tough ass right now. This is going to be rocking in Lincoln. So now week 5, have a bye, and then come back October 4th, first Wisconsin, Big Ten home opener. I think Michigan dominates Wisconsin. They don't have a quarterback right now. They're switching back to offensive styles. They were in the air raid. It just didn't work. It didn't look right at Wisconsin. Now they have Billy Edwards Jr. coming in at quarterback, which I don't think he's good. Not good at all. I think Michigan smokes Wisconsin in the home opener. Now week 7, another big game, October 11th. At USC. That place is going to be rocking. I think there will be a lot of Michigan fans at that game in the Coliseum. Michigan has a big alumni and a big fan base. I don't believe in USC. I just don't believe what Lincoln Riley's doing there. I know the defense got better with Lynn, Deanton Lynn and company. The defense improved, but I just don't see it. I think Jay Mayava's okay. He played last year. But I just don't see it with this USC team. I think the pressure is going to continue to mount and build on Lincoln Riley. I think Michigan goes out to the West Coast and wins this game. Yes. Now week 8, Michigan hosts on October 18th. They host Washington. Now this is going to be a payback game. Michigan lost at Washington last year. Kind of got dominated in that game, and it was a tough watch. DeMond Williams, sophomore quarterback, Jed Fish coming in another year. It'll be a lot better. So I just don't see Michigan losing this game at home. I think they run the ball well. Washington's got a sneaky bad defense. I know they got a good receiver outside Denzel Boston too, but Michigan wins this game. I think it's closer than what the people think. Now, week 9, the next week, October 25th, it is the rivalry game, and that is at Michigan State. Now, I think this game is always going to be tighter than what it's supposed to be because these two teams absolutely hate each other, and it's a rivalry. So they know a lot of things can happen. Michigan State's looking for a bounce-back year. Struggled in Jonathan Smith's first year. Aiden Childs turned the ball over a lot. I don't think Michigan State will turn the ball over as much this season, but I think Michigan wins this game. I still think they're a better team. I think State is really another year away, but the pressure is going to be on Jonathan Smith to beat somebody. I think he'll get a significant win this season, but I don't think it's going to be against my Wolverines. But they do have an elite receiver who I think will be a future first-round pick in Nick Marsh. So Michigan's going to have its time trying to guard him and cover him. But be an improved Michigan State team. Like I said, this game will be a lot closer than it's supposed to be because that's how rivalry games are. But Michigan wins this one. All right, week 10. Man, that is November. We're in the month of November already. November 1st, hosting Purdue. That's a W. Purdue started from pretty much from scratch. They got a new coach in Barry Odom. Only guy notable that they got back is Devin Mockabee, the running back, who he's been there for forever. He wears the weird number 45. But Barry Odom did a good job at UNLV. I think he'll do a decent job at Purdue, but you got to give him time because they've had, I believe, the most transfers in FBS this season. So we'll see. Now, week 11, that's a bye, another rest, and then you head down this last 3-game stretch. Week 12, November 15th, at Northwestern. I'm more say Northwestern's not a good football team. They got a good running back in Cam Porter. David Brown's done a good job, but just not good. And they're not even playing. Northwestern's not even playing at their home field right now. They're getting a new field. So I believe this game will be at Wrigley Field where the Chicago Cubs play. Michigan wins this game, though, I believe. Now, week 13, another road game. November 22nd, at Maryland. Mike Locksley and company have struggled. Maryland hasn't put any consistent type of win together. They got a freshman quarterback who's going to be good in Washington. So I think they throw him in the fire, but I think Michigan dominates this game. It's not going to be like the national title year where they almost lost that game as well to Maryland. Mike Sammons still saved the day with a couple picks, and JJ just struggled that day. I remember throwing a pick in the red zone, but I think Michigan wins this game. All right, and now week 14, you know it. Thanksgiving weekend, November 29th. Michigan hosts currently number 3 Ohio State in the country. Michigan is on a nice heater against Ohio State. This is going to be a tough game. They just named Julian Sain the starting quarterback, a redshirt freshman. They have a lot of question marks. They had a lot of guys drafted. The offense will still be good. Jeremiah Smith is the best player in the country. They have Caleb Downs on defense. You know my hate for the Ohio State Buckeyes. I can't stand it. I am unfortunately going to say Michigan loses this game right now. It hates me to say this. I think Ohio State has more established players offensively right now besides the quarterback. But, hey, I think we can win this game. I'm just going to say right now we lose this game. Unfortunately, so Michigan fans, don't kill me. But here's what it is. This is what I'm seeing right now. I got to see what this offense. I think Chip Lindsey will get these guys in motion. But it's going to be great to see Bryce Underwood play against the Buckeyes, man. But I'm going to say Michigan loses this game in a tight one. Unfortunately, the way series go, you're not going to win every game. I think Ohio State may have a chance to get us this year. Although it's a mental thing, there's a lot of pressure on Ryan Day to beat us. And there's a lot of Buckeye fans who want him out of there. He was almost going last year. And still love playing the flag in the middle of the field. Fantastic. But with that said, let's just sum this up. I got Michigan going 9-3. I believe their win total was over 8.5. I think they hit that. This is the season before the season. This is the season where I think they're competitive, they're good, they prove themselves, they build all these young players up, get another great recruiting class, in which I believe they will be in this 26th class. I believe they finish with inside the top 10, probably top 8, I believe. And then next year, where they really launch into outer space and really get back into national title contention. I think they can really win a title starting with Bryce's sophomore year. But this year is more of building. If they make the college football playoff, great. But 9 wins, it'd be a great season. So just want to give you my thoughts. Hey, don't forget to go back and look at my other videos. Like, love, subscribe. I appreciate all the love and support. And real quick before we get up out of here, tomorrow, Tuesday, August 19th, I believe 11:15 Eastern, Savion Hyder, I talked about this last week, the number 1 running back in the country out of the state of Virginia, is announcing his decision. And this is huge. This is a pivotal decision for Michigan and company. This is the number 1 recruit. I talked about this last week. This is the number 1 recruit on their board that they want. If they had a draft and had to draft all the recruits for the 26th class, he would be the number 1 pick. And I believe Michigan's put the work in. They've had the lead for a lot of the time, but it's getting a tighter race. Tennessee jumped in, and I believe it's between Michigan and Tennessee. I think Michigan can pull this off. I really hope they do. To pair here with Bryce Underwood next year. I know they got Jordan Marshall and Justice Haynes, who no longer if he comes back next year. But Savion Hyder, no doubt, will be an immediate impact player if he comes and brings his talents to Ann Arbor. And I hope they get him. And I'll talk about it tomorrow. I'll drop a quick short on there on my channel about it. But stay tuned for that, and that's going to vault them up in the standings and the recruiting standings. But this is a huge get. This is a swing player for this class, and this will be huge if Michigan can get him. So I'm ecstatic. I'm excited. We're going to see what's going to happen. But, hey, I appreciate all the love and support. It's your boy, Adrian. Don't forget to like, love, and subscribe to my videos. I appreciate all the love and support. Peace.